Welcome back, 3D students. In this video we're going to begin to extrude the parts of our sword from this box that we created. So let's start by zooming out a little bit using our middle mouse wheel and rotating our view just a bit so we can see a little better. And let's start with the blade. So I'm going to go to polygon mode by clicking on this button right here. And I'm going to select all 4 of these top polygons here. Now to select more than one polygon, you click on the first one and hold down Control, and then you click on the next one. Now if you select one by accident, you can hold down Alt to deselect it. Once you make your selection, it's always a good idea to look around your object and make sure that you didn't select anything by accident. Now we're going to use these editing tools here. We're going to use Extrude. First we're going to use Inset. It's right here. Now these tools have, if you click the button, you will see the little tool when you hover your cursor over the, and you can click and drag and do that, okay? Extrude has one as well. Bevel has one, and so forth. They also have tool settings here. These little boxes with the bar on top right next to the button are the tool settings, and when you click on those, it brings up a little floating tool set here where you can switch modes right here at the top. We can do it by polygon if we want, for example. See? Or we can do it as a group. And you can type in a number here, or you can click and drag on these arrows to do the inset. When you're done, you click the check box. If you want to do another operation, you click the plus sign. See, that did it again, and I can adjust that one. Or you can click the X here that just cancels what you did, like that. So I'm going to inset some amount here. Mine is inset 4.64, I think, and maybe a little more than that. And then I'm going to click the check to finish. These tools that are here are also available if you simply right click in your viewport. And that brings up this thing called the quad menu. And you can see those tools right here. The same tools that are here. You can click on the little box to bring up the tool settings like so. Or you can just click on the word to bring up the tool. When you're done with your operation here and you're using the tool, you can also right click, like when you see, right click to turn it off. Or you can come back over here and click on the button again. I usually use the tool set here and just hit the check to make sure that I've done what I wanted to do. Now there are shortcuts for some of these tools. For example, we have these 4 polygons selected here that we just inset, and what we're going to do next is extrude these upward. We don't need to use the extrude tool. We can if we want to, but there's a shortcut to do that. If you hold down Shift and move in your Z-axis, you will extrude. Once you get an extrusion up, doesn't matter how tall it is, go ahead and let go. If you keep holding extrude, you'll make another extrusion, but we only want one. If you need it to be taller, then just select those polygons and move it up. So we want to make an extrusion. Make sure you have these 4 polygons selected. Hold down Shift and move them up in the Z-axis about like that. If they need to be a little taller, just simply move them without holding Shift. So let's make it look about like that. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is enter edge mode. We're going to switch modes by clicking on this button here, the edge mode. And we're going to select these 2 edges right here. Okay, just these 2 on the top. And we're going to move them upward to make it kind of pointy like that. And next we're going to extrude the blade. Go to polygon mode and Notice the same polygons I had selected last time are still selected. And then let's inset these. So I'm going to right click and click on the inset tool settings right here. And I'm going to inset those again, about like that. And click the check. Now this is going to be the blade. So I'm going to zoom out some, and with those polygons still selected, I'm going to use Shift. I'm going to move in the Z-axis and pull that blade up out of there like that. Now I want my blade to kind of flare out a little bit at the end, so we're going to do something else here. Let's switch to the Scale tool by pushing R on the keyboard, and we're just going to touch on the X-axis here, the red one, and we're going to scale those out in that direction just a little bit. And when you zoom out, you see what you have there. Now I want my sword to be a little pointier, so I'm going to go back to Edge mode, and those two edges I had selected are still selected there. Let's switch to the Move tool by pushing W on the keyboard and pull that up a little bit more. And there we go. We have a sword blade. Now in subsequent videos we're going to have to create the edge. It doesn't have an edge yet, it's just blunt. But in the next video we're going to create the cross guard and probably the handle. And I'll see you then.